dodging a disaster. Great laydown from Daniel Negreanu. Fading a flip.
He does indeed let it go.
Going with your gut. Sometimes you just have to let a hand go. These are our top 5 fantastic folds. Number 5 is from the EPT 11 Malta final table, where Dominic Panka came close to winning his 2nd title on the tour. John Monturi had other ideas, but we were impressed with this play from Panka. Panka's got 10s in the small blind.
And Dominic's going to be 3-betting here more often than a hypochondriac checks WebMD.
So this is a re-raise to 850,000, and Monturi's got queens in the big.
Oh, no.
Really bad news for Dominic Panka.
4-bet alert.
And 10s is not a hand you're going to get away from often in a 3-handed game.
Nope. I see Dominic getting away from this less often than Carmen Sandiego gets away from the gumshoes.
So Monturi's made it more than 2 million. Messina has folded. And now it's do or die time for Dominic Panka.
In this case, probably do and die.
Oh, wow! He folds!
How did he do that? He's genuinely either not human or has got a live tail on Monturi the size of the T1 million.
An incredible laydown.
I'm speechless.
Solid stuff. But we saw the fold of 2015 a month before that, when Danny Parlafas and Ognian Dimov went heads up for the EPT 11 Deauville Trophy. Parlafas with Queen 8 here. He calls.
Ah, limps in, okay.
Dimov has 8-10 of hearts.
Yeah, just go ahead and touch the chips again with that hand.
He checks his option. A 9-7 deuce flop, so Dimov's up and down. Parlafas ahead for now with Queen high. He bets 200k.
He seems kind of frustrated.
Quick call from Dimov. A 6 on the turn. That's the straight for Dimov.
Remember before I was saying Danny Parlafas is running good? Well, now he's running really, really bad.
Action goes check, check. Oh no, a 5 on the river. Parlafas now with the dummy end of the straight.
He is running worse than the family from Honey Boo Boo.
Wow. Look at this. Dimov makes a huge overbet. There was 680,000 in the middle. He's bet 1.2 million.
I mean, Dimov has literally the only hand that Parlafas is losing to. I do not see him folding here. If he folds here, actually, I will take my shirt off and run around the building.
How good can you run?
Around the building with my shirt off? Better than the family from Honey Boo Boo.
He's folded!
All right, well, James, if you can verify.
The shirt is coming off in honor of Danny Parlafas, who just made an incredible fold. Folding the second nuts? Insane. 8 years earlier, across the other side of the world, a legend was being created. Elke left his mark in Macau during Season 1 of the Asia Pacific Poker Tour.
10 raises to 77,000.
Pretty good sized raise here. Over to Elke now.
Queen Jack of diamonds. And reaches for chips.
Well, certainly a hand good enough to see a flop with, especially when you've already got...
I raise.
Wow, he's going to raise it. Pretty aggressive play here. Looks like he's going to raise, yeah.
Makes it 120,000 more.
So 10 now, decision time. He's put 77,000 in already. 120,000 more. Ace-queen, a very difficult hand to play. He is going to call. So a big pot brewing here. Elke will have to act first after the flop, so Tan has position, and he also has the best hand.
And here is the flop. It is Queen 8-5.
Well, and a dangerous flop it is. Elke has to go first. I would imagine he'd have to bet here. No!
Wow, he's going to check. He's going to set the trap.
Looks like he wants to go for the check raise on the flop here. Expecting Tan to bet. Slow playing his top pair. But Tan has the best hand.
210,000. And Tan bets 210,000. Now we see what Elke has planned.
Big trouble for Elke here. He checked the flop, looking for some action. Tan bet. What Elke doesn't know, of course, is that Tan has him beat, has him dominated. As you can see, just 13% chance to win. He would have to catch a jack or running straight cards. This could be trouble. Wow!
And Elke lets it go. An amazing read.
That is an incredible laydown in this type of situation. To re-raise before the flop and then check fold on the flop. That might be one of the greatest reads I've ever seen.
And 6 weeks after that final table, Elke officially achieved legend status by winning the PCA. Now, number 2 on our list from EPT7 Berlin has all the makings of a classic cooler. But it finds itself in this countdown thanks to the finely tuned instincts of Mr. Joop van den Boogaard. Ace-9 suited for Joop van den Boogaard in the big blind. Any chance he squeezes?
With the suited ace and the odds he's getting in the pot, he's probably going to call, but it wouldn't be a bad spot with Ben just calling on the button.
How much is this? I call.
Maybe alarm bells are ringing that Ben didn't 3-bet. Didn't know he had a call button.
Maybe he just wants to see a flop.
And what a flop. Ace-9 deuce with 2 clubs. Top set for Wilanovsky. Top 2 pair for van den Boogaard. And the flush draw for Jeffrey Hakim. He had the pre-flop betting lead. It's been checked to him.
Disastrous flop for everybody but Wilanovsky. A Hollywood poker writer couldn't have scripted this cooler any better.
93,000.
Considering he has the board completely crushed, I like a flat call. It conceals the strength of his hand, and it allows for opponents to make mistakes.
193.
He is going to raise. He sticks 100,000 on top. So what does Joop do with top 2?
Pristine opportunity to re-raise. He is out of position. He can't just flat call. He has to raise the price of admission. Show's about to get expensive.
So he 3-bets to 530,000. He's stuck in about a third of his stack.
No, Hakim can't call it all off with the flush draw.
How much do you have behind?
When Wilanovsky gets a count, he may well think that Joop van den Boogaard has committed himself to this pot.
And for that reason, he may stick him all in to risk no clubs.
Come on.
He has shoved on van den Boogaard.
He looks disgusted. I'd be happy.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Having committed a third of his chips, he's not meant to pass a hand this strong.
He has top 2 on a board where it's very difficult for any hand to have him beat. I would already be eliminated from the tournament by now.
I'm in the same boat. My chips would have gone across the line, the cards would have gone on their back, and I would have said NHGG.
Such a big hand, but I can't beat anything.
How do you put Wilanovsky on a set here?
Joop is clearly thinking Ben does not have a bluff in his range.
Can have aces. Aces. Can have aces.
Does have aces.
That's so sick.
He put aces in his range.
Maybe it's because Wilanovsky just called pre-flop that makes him think he does have aces.
The first time ever that I don't really know what to do and I don't have a good plan.
I do that to people.
I guess. I hate myself. You would show if I fold? Talking all the time, and now you're saying, don't say anything.
Interesting read.
I'm just not going to answer that question.
No, I know.
Makes you feel better though. I don't hate you.
I'm sorry?
I don't hate you. You just said you hated yourself. I kind of like it.
I don't like myself.
You has picked up on the fact that Ben has gone quiet. He's the chattiest man in poker, and suddenly he's gone as still as a statue. He's laid it down! That is an amazing fold.
Van den Bygart should feel extremely proud. That is a spot where the majority of poker players would have gone broke.
And for our number one fantastic fold, we head over to the Bahamas. In 2011, two top players were heads up for one of the biggest titles in poker. The title, the PCA main event. The players, Galen Hall and Chris Oliver. Galen Hall, on the button, has posted the small blind, and is first to speak, looks down at 8-4 offsuit.
You can widen your range heads up and raise almost any two cards profitably from the button.
He's made it 450,000. Oliver has ace deuce in the big blind. He'll make the call.
Chris makes the call.
And we will see a flop. The flop is 3-5 deuce. It's an up and down straight draw for Hall. Oliver still leads with a pair of twos and a gut shot straight draw.
This is a good flop for Hall to continuation bet.
Oliver is checked to him. Hall makes a C bet of 575,000.
Oliver won't be going anywhere.
Makes the call. The turn is the two of hearts. Trip twos now for Oliver. Hall still has the straight draw. Oliver checks a second time.
He checks the best turn card in the deck so Hall can fire again.
But Hall checks behind.
Let's see the river card.
Hall makes a straight on the river, but Oliver has a full house.
The absolute worst card in the deck for Hall as he makes a wheel. How much money is he gonna lose is the real question.
Oliver sets the trap. He checks to him.
What a trap indeed. He's just praying his opponent has a 4 as he does.
Hall makes a value bet with his straight of 2 million.
That is a full pot size bet. Now it's going to be back on Oliver. He is contemplating exactly how much he can check raise. Galen Hall has 9.5 million chips behind. There are 4 million chips in the pot.
Chris Oliver shoves on Galen Hall. He's trying to end it here.
As wild as Oliver is, it's still highly unlikely he ever shows up with the stone cold bluff.
Can Galen Hall get away from this?
Only if he dismisses the idea of Oliver turning missed diamonds or a pair into a bluff and interprets this all-in overbet as a pure value bet to end it all.
That is a large bet.
Large, it's twice the pot.
If Galen Hall calls here with his straight, the tournament is over and Chris Oliver has won the 2011 PCA.
Oliver's image is telling Hall to call.
But something in his gut is telling him it doesn't add up, it's not right. And he makes the laydown! Galen Hall gets away from the straight. That is an amazing fold.
Since he realized he was chopping the pot at best, he cut his losses and made a spectacular fold.
Spoiler alert, Galen Hall went on to win. Well, those are our top 5 fantastic folds. For further fantastic finds, head to PokerStars.tv.